Hello, today we are going to learn how to round numbers correct to a certain number of decimal places. For decimal places, count after the decimal point. What does this mean? Here you have three different numbers. The first decimal place of the 34.875 is going to be digit 8 because that is the first digit after the decimal point. And the second decimal place is going to be digit 7. The third decimal place is going to be digit 5. For the next number, again, count after the decimal point. The first one is going to be the first 0. The second one is the second 0, and the third is going to be digit 8. For the first decimal point for the third number is going to be the first 0. The second decimal place is going to be the second 0, and the third decimal place is going to be digit 6. Remember, here we just identified the decimal places. Now we are going to write correct to the decimal places. So correct to the first decimal place and the correct to the second decimal place. Here I have prepared steps which I will follow one by one. So we have the number 34.8701. The first step says underline the decimal place you will round to. So we are going to round to the first decimal place. So I'm going to underline digit 8. There you go. If the digit next to it on the right, so this is the digit on the right, it's a 7, is bigger than 5, then it says keep the digit in front of the decimal place the same. So I'm going to rewrite them exactly as they are, put the decimal place next to it. Now, because 7 is bigger than 5, then add 1 to the decimal place. So 8 becomes a 9, and then all the other digit after the 9 becomes 0. So remember, there's three place values here. So 1, 2, 3, 3 digits, that becomes a 0. So we have 1, 2, 3. So you can write this one as 34.9 as well. So it is exactly the same thing, but it's just nice. It's good to rewrite them as a 0 so that you understand how we round to the first decimal place. Let's round to the second decimal place. The second decimal place is going to be digit 7. I'm going to put a little dot, but you can rewrite the number in your books and underline it again. Now, the number or the digit next to it on the right-hand side is 0. So I'm going to keep 7 the same. And all the other digits in front of 7 should be written exactly as they are. So we have 34.87 and then 0, 0. Or you can simply write this number as 34.87. Let's do the same thing with number 5.008. The first decimal point is going to be the first 0. And so the next one is again 0. So we keep 0, 0 becomes 0, and then keep the 5 the same. So it's going to be 5 point, everything after becomes a 0, everything. Which obviously 5.000, it is just a 5. Now to the second decimal point, so it's going to be the second 0. Look at the number next to it. So it's the 8. That means you add 1 to the second decimal point. So keep the first, all the digit in front of it the same. So 5.0, 0 becomes a 1. What comes after becomes a 0. So you have 5 point, this is the same as 5.01. Let's round to the first decimal point, the first decimal place, the third number. The first decimal place is the first 0, so we underline it, and the number next to it is 0. That means we keep all the digits in front exactly the same, and the digit of the decimal place here stays the same because the number next to it is less than 4. So 0.0, and we write all the other numbers 0. All the other digit becomes 0. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros, and this is simply 0. Okay, 0. Rewrite it as 0. So 0.0000, it is a 0. Second decimal place, so it's going to be this one here. I'm going to put a little dot, second decimal place. And then, which means all the digits in front of it are the same, keep the same, 0.00. Now, let's have a look at the digit after the decimal place. Is 6? No, it's bigger than 5. That means we add 1 to the second decimal place. So this 0 here becomes a 1. And all the rest of the digit becomes a 0. So you have 1, 2, 3 more zeros to add. And then you see that this actually is the number 0.01, just like that, 0.01. So again, here you have again all the steps written again for you. And here I have prepared 4 different numbers for you to work independently, and you are going to write all the numbers correct to the first decimal place, second decimal place, and the third decimal place. Because I've done the first and the second for you previously, I'm going to do the first number correct to the third decimal place, and you can fill all the boxes yourself independently. The third decimal place, so it is going to be digit 5. I'm going to underline digit 5. First step, write the rest of the digit in front of the decimal place the same. So we're going to have 2.71. Look at the digit after digit 5. There's none, or you can add a 0 to hold the place value, which means 5 remains the same. There you go. If there was another digit here, for example, after 5, if there was another 5 or a 6 or a 7, then 5 would have become a 6, and the rest of the digit after become 0. So this is the strategy that you have to follow. So to follow the steps carefully and make sure you always underline the decimal place, rewrite the decimals, so the digit in front of the decimal place exactly as they are. All the digit after the decimal place become 0, but the decimal place is the one that stays the same if the digit next to it on the right is 4 or smaller than 4, or the decimal place, you have to add 1 if the digit after the decimal place is 5 or bigger than 5. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.